Shalom, shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful lay brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity. All right. It's a news article reads China threatens to nuke Japan over Taiwan in video played on CCP sanctioned channel. Because, scriptures say it. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon drunken with power, man. That sense of not possessiveness. You get the gist of what I'm saying, man. That these people are drunken off of having control, man. Alright, almost had it on the tip of my tongue, but yeah. These other nations, they're copying off the ways of America, and that's going to be the destruction of them, because that's how America's going to go down, you know. I thought it was one in Isaiah, but I'm going to just get this one. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And it's talking about all the nations, man. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. The orchestration of the Lord using the angels to control what's going on through these other nations. It's really the Lord playing chess, man, with the minds of these heathens. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And it's not just going to be everybody on America. It's going to be an all-out war of nation against nation, you know? Hence is the name called World War III. All right? And China made a huge threat that nations don't make. They said they threatened to nuke Japan, you know? Just because that's one of the nations that's been nuked before, so I guess that's not that harsh of a threat. But this is a great threat. No nation has ever threatened to nuke another nation, not even America. Even when America bombed Japan, they didn't threaten to nuke it. But these are high level class threats, man. That you got nations pulling up on other nations to see if they lacking or not, and they're trying to muscle. So like I didn't just remember exactly what I wanted to say. They have this power trip type of mindset. They're tripping off of power. It's Second Ezra chapter 16, uh, verse 1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, and woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria, which is going into the destruction of these nations." Because why? They're about to fight each other and they're all going to lose. It says, "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." This is Second Ezra 16:18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear." What does it mean by the powers? These world governments. They're going to stand in fear of wondering if they're going to be spoiled or not, because once again, like I said, this is going to be a war none of them are going to win. In the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So that's what Ezra was asking, man. You know, what's to be done when all this is happening, man? I think the other one is in. Because it's about to be a great war coming. And you can't get over that. I think it might be in the 15th chapter. Yeah, this is Second Ezra 15:43. It says, "And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid." And that's happening right now because you have um, different nations in the Black Sea and other parts of the oceans that surround America. They're in the Black Sea over there, and most of them are what's that? They're in between places like Hawaii, California, and Cuba, with different ships on this one end, you know, as well as over in the Middle East, around different types of U.S. embassies and U.S. buildings, circling around America, making her afraid, man, putting her in fear. Because this great war has to happen, man, to provoke. Like I said, they're muscling each other around, man. Let our strength be the law of justice. That's something that these heathens have taken up from Esau. It says, and they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen when those UN troops come over here, man, and invade America. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. And that's talking about the nukes that's gonna hit this place as well. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Exactly, because China made a lot of money off of America, man. They have investments in America, and that's why it's gonna go down the same way, having that same spirit. It says, "Woe be unto thee, thou rich." So the scriptures are calling China that rich, man. To think that they're going to be the next superpower and to be so wicked, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee, which is the same philosophies of America. You know, it's funny, me and the brother was just talking about that yesterday when we was doing a lesson, that, you know, even if Jake took over, not only does Jake not have the resources, but if Jake had the resources and whatever, they still would just copy off of the image of America, which they saw, which means it's ultimately going to plummet anyway. You know, they would still bring in those treasonous, whorish ways that come from America. You know, the philosophies and the standards of America on how they're supposed to govern. And it would be what that bullshit ass democracy, which would make everything go down. You know, that's a whoredom to the Lord. That's not how we judge. We don't judge by democracy. We judge according to the scriptures. It's not the majority rules. That's bull. It never says in the scriptures that the people should govern themselves. It says that they should have liberty and have the freedom to live under a righteous law. It says, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions, which that's what a lot of these nations are doing. You know, like even to mention China. They're following after the same mindset that's about to get this place nuked, which is America. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues unto thee. Widowhood, the same things that happen pretty much to Babylon is going to happen to you other nations as well, man. Poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as the flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. You know, so that's the breakdown to this, man. About that you're gonna be the next superpower, which everybody always thinks is China. Even this place right here is gonna get brought down low, as well as Japan. If Japan takes another nuke, I don't know what's gonna happen to Japan, man. In all honesty, that it's still messed up over that little boy, man. Big man and little boy. So if China actually did nuke, they were actually making a strong threat, man. Y'all don't want that to happen again. So don't do this. But this is all the Lord putting these cards into play, man. That it's not just going to be an all-out war on America. It's going to be a war where these nations are going to fight each other. And then once they see the Lord, they're going to try to fight the Lord. Because the Lord is going to have greater technology that they're going to think that they're going to have more power in numbers. Well, that power in numbers shit don't mean nothing to the Lord, man. The Lord said, he said, multitudes in the valley of decision. The Lord wants everybody to get together so that he can be justified in destroying them. He wants you to make that move so they can be justified in destroying you. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Where he said, multitudes. It's that time. With great labor have I made my great perfect. It's gonna be the time for the elect to be redeemed, and it's gonna be time to throw this wicked ass tree into the fire, man. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So the Lord is talking about the fats of wine or the vat, what you would use to make the wine. And it's time, man. It's time to start to drink of this and be filled with. It's time, man. It's time for harvest. Everything is full grown now. It says multitudes in the valley of decision. So the Lord wants these multitudes of these nations to come together, man. He wants them to fight each other and then break each other down to where their armies are little, and then he just destroys the rest. It's for the day of the Lord, Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. That's what it means, the valley of judgment. The Lord is going to decide who's going to make it out of there. He's going to decide who all needs to die. And, according to the scriptures, his decision is that they're all going to die and it's going to be there. That none of them are coming back. It says the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Because that's when the Lord is going to cover the sky with his chariots. Second Ezra 13:5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, that chariot, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Because these were the other nations, they were fighting each other. And then they seen the sky get darkened, and they got afraid. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So that's what the Lord wants. He wants these nations to fight and gather themselves together, and then he comes along, and he's like the biggest dude on the court, and he knocks everybody out. So with that, I just wanted to chime in on that these things are in play, and that's going to be the end all be all. That the Lord is setting these nations in motion against each other, and the scriptures agree with this. So it's only a matter of time before there is an actual World War III. Right now, we're just still in the stages of wars and rumors of wars. But soon, it's going to be drafts. It's going to be more austerity measures going on. And these are the signs of the time. But with that, I'm going to end it off and say, Shalom and the Bible.